Hello again, it's DIY Woodworker here. Been a few days since I made a video. I've had a few equipment malfunctions. The tripod that I was using broke about the fourth or fifth time I used it. All I can say to that is you buy cheap, you get cheap. I now have a little bit more expensive but much better tripod for my camera to sit on, and that's what it's on now. I'm out here today. I'm finishing up my doors for my cabinet. I told you I was trying to decide if I was going to go with 2 or 4 doors. Well, I decided to go with 4 because I thought 2 3-foot doors swinging open would be way too much on the cabinet. And I made my first cabinet door using my chop saw, trying to cut 45-degree miters. And well, as all of you know, if you've done that can be a challenge. I did it. I put a door together. It's laying here underneath all this wood, but I'm not happy with it. I didn't like the way it came out. The miters weren't any good, a little power. And so I went on the internet. I'd seen this done, Jay Bates. I don't know if you ever looked at his channel, Jay Bates Woodworking, but he's got a miter saw sled that he makes, and it's this one here. And I made this and put it together and used it to cut my miter cuts for the other 3 doors. And by the time I got to my 3rd door, I was cutting pretty good miters. Well, I'm not going to redo 3 of them, so the other 2 will just have to do a little sanding, a little filling, and it'll be all right by the time you paint it. You probably won't be able to tell it's that big of a problem. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this door. I got to use my small saw jig here, rip saw jig, to cut this piece of wood because I can't cut a 31.5-inch length piece on my table saw over here using my fence. I can only go out to 26 inches. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this length, and then when I rip it to width, I'll rip it on the saw. So let me go ahead and get that done. And this, by the way, is my small saw guide that I told you in one of my clips that I had. So here. Look at the snot, as we used to say when I was a kid growing up. I don't know if that's appropriate for YouTube, but I did. Okay, I'm going to tear this down, go over, set my saw up, and I'll show you me ripping that on my saw. So I'll be right with you in a minute. Alright, here I'm at my portable rigid saw that I told you about, but I haven't really shown you before. Again, repeating myself, but extremely satisfied with this saw. If you're looking for a portable saw that folds up and gets out of the way and cuts wood and does a great job of cutting the wood, I should say, you can't go wrong with this. It was $3.99 at the Home Depot store. Not giving free advertising for Home Depot, but that's just where it is. Rigid, you have to buy it. You have to buy it from them, or buy it from Rigid Direct, and then you pay the full, I think, $4.99 price for it. So anyhow, I'm going to go ahead and rip this piece now at 16 1/8 inches. I've got it set up, ready to go. All I got to do is turn the saw on and go ahead and rip my cut. I'm sorry, I forgot to tighten down my fence. Now let me double check this measurement. Okay, now maybe we can rip this board for you. That just doesn't look right from my mark. 16 1/8. wasn't right. All right, let's try this again. Measure once and cut 3 times, right? Okay, here we go. Now, what I need to do is take this door over here to my router and cut my grooves in my router. And I'll do that now. I'll be back with you in a minute to show you that procedure. Okay, I'm ready to cut the grooves in this last door. And I got the router all set up already. I don't bother showing you that because sometimes it can be time consuming. But I had to take the other bit out, put this bit in, adjust my feather guard, and ready to go. So I'm going to start this up, get a little noisy in here, and cut all 4 sides of this with grooves. There I am, the grooves all cut on all 4 sides of that door board. You might have seen me trying to use my foot to keep this thing sliding around. When I originally built this, I put some rather small, inexpensive casters on it. And with the feather guard down tightest, sometimes these things move. I have bought larger, better quality casters that I will replace here soon. Probably by the time I do my next set of doors. Should help that situation. Plus I only had locking wheels on the front too. I got locking wheels all the way around on the next one, so that should make a big difference too. So, alright, I'm going to go over here to my saw, set up my 45-degree jig, and cut my pieces to fit this, and we'll be back with you shortly. Okay, I've got my boards all marked, I've got my saw set up, I got my 45-degree jig in it, and I'm going to go ahead and cut these pieces for the door. So here we go. showed you this a while ago. This is J Bates Design, jbates.com on YouTube. So it's nothing I did, and I'm not making any claims to fame. I copied his the best I could, but works like a champ. So if you need to cut 45-degree miters, invest in a little 2-foot by 2-foot piece of plywood, and you can cut the whole jig right out of this one piece of plywood. So it works great. It works a whole lot better than my chop saw. Even though I like my chop saw, it's no good for cutting 45-degree mitered corners. So, all right, next thing is to lower this saw down and take my jig off and bring my door over here, and I'll use my tabletop for assembling my door. So I'll be right back with you in a moment. Okay, as with the best laid plans of mice and men, this one piece of wood come up about 1/8 inch short. I don't know how. I measured them all the same and I cut them all the same, but it decided it wanted to be a little gap in there. So that's why I dry fit everything. They're not perfect yet, but they are what they are, and I'm going to glue this up. I won't film this because it's just me running glue in the grooves that I cut, and then clamping these all down and then wiping up all the glue spill. But it's door number 4, and that should be it. I got first door over there that's going to be scrap something, and I got door 2, door 3. Door 3 is over here somewhere drying down here, and this is be door 1 again. So let me mark a 1 on it so I know that this is door 1. Okay, that's going to be it for now. I got to just glue these up and let them glue up, and I'm waiting on my hinges to come. I ordered my hinges from Summerfelt because they've got this neat little tool that they use to drill your holes and everything. Just, you know, it makes mounting hinges a piece of cake. You use their little setup tool. It drills your holes for you. It does everything. It does everything but put it on the cabinet for you. But that's that. I'll get this one gluing, and once it's glued up, I'll be doing a little sanding on them and a little filling to fill some of the minor gaps I've got and so forth. And then by the time you paint it, it'll look like I knew what I was doing. We all know better than that, don't we? Anyhow, for now, this is the DIY woodworker. DIY woodworker. Say it fast, James. And we'll talk to you later. Well, have a good day. There they are, the 4 doors in their unfinished state as it sits now. They look alright from a distance. Like I said, as long as you don't get too close. Now what I plan on doing, if I can get down and get my hand in here, I'm going to round over all these edges here. Put a 1/2 inch round over on all of them. All the edges on all the doors. And that'll soften that edge a little bit there. Along the bottom and along the top. And then on the inside of the door here, if I can, I'm probably going to have to put hinges on this of some sort, or pulls. I thought I'd put just a round over underneath where I could grab it and pull it open, but they're going to be so close together here that won't be able to do that. Now here's the dividing section in the middle of the cabinet, which I'm hoping by the time I round these over on either side, they'll open up without interfering with each other. If they don't, then I'll have to come up with something else. But again, it's getting there. 36 inches tall by 6 feet long by 2 feet deep. My own design, drawn up on a computer and come all out of this little pea brain of mine. Hopefully it's going to look alright once I get it all sanded down and filled up and everything ready and painted. Maybe it'll look okay. At least I hope so. If nothing else, it'll be a garage cabinet, and nobody's buying it commercially, so it's just going to be for my use. So just thought I'd add this little tidbit. There she sits, and to tell you the truth, I'm kind of proud of it. It looks pretty good from a distance. You don't get too close, like I said. It looks all right. So anyhow, I'll say adios. The DIY woodworker here, signing off for the evening.